As a Z-list YouTube celebrity, I often find myself at the forefront of such desirable spots as toilet cleaner infomercials and to shovel the poo out of raccoon cages at your local humane society. But with these privileges come downsides one might not have foreseen when you gain such fame. I have a stalker, but he's nice.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we have a very interesting stalker story that gets stranger and stranger the longer it goes. We are actually on a stalker gift. We have finally reached the pinnacle of Helios 44-2 58mm22 lens from Russia on the Z6 III, of course. 4K RAW. Dynamic range. Non-existent. Leading lines. Going that way. Now first let me say this stalker, he's very nice. There's nothing sketchy. I've never once talked to him and thought, you know what, this is weird. He's not asking me to sign my underwear. Hey man, he's not popping out of my garbage can, although close once. We'll get to that part. So like, he's not weird. It's just, let me just start from the beginning. So I get a phone call one day, and it's from this guy, and he said, hey, I'm a fan of your show. And I'm like, how'd you get my number? And he's like, oh, I'm downstairs at your building. I saw this little note. So for a while, my buzzer was broken, and I would leave a note for the delivery guys. What the hell is that sound? So I kept missing deliveries, and I was getting fed up. So I left a little note downstairs saying, hey, deliveries for this guy, me. Just call this number, and boom. So, you know me, I vlog in my neighborhood. I have nothing to hide. Usually I'm filming like right outside my house. It's like, I don't ever think someone's gonna try to find me and kill me. I just spread joy to the world. Who could be mad at that? Like, is a Nikon fanboy gonna come to me when I abandon this whole bullshit system and like kill me in my sleep? I'm doubting that. But so this stalker guy, he finds that note. He's seen my videos. He's like, I know that area. Oh, that must be this building. And he actually went there, saw the note, called me. He's like, hey man, fan of the show. We should talk sometime. I'm like, that's weird. So already we're starting on the wrong foot here. It's the wrong sock and sandal foot that we got off to our friendship. And I'm just like off put. And so I don't really want to talk to this guy. And so I leave. I'm like, all right, nice talking to you. I got to go. See you later. Never, hopefully. Now, I don't remember all the details. This is over the period of like 2 years, but it went something like he would call again sometimes. Like, hey, if you ever want to shoot sometime, like I get these jobs, and I'm like, not really interested, thanks. And he would call again, and eventually I just blocked him because I was just like, yeah, we're done. You would think it ended there, but it didn't. So one day I get a message. I'm always selling stuff on Kijiji, and some guy, it didn't have his name, but he was like, hey, I'm interested in this. I'm like, that's weird. This thing sucks. I forget what it was, like a filter for a phone or something. And I get downstairs and it's him. And I'm like, oh, it's you. Hey, man, how's it going? And he's like, so you wanted this, huh? And he's like, yep, sure did. And we're talking for a bit. And you already know, I'm just like, nope. By the way, is this lens better than the Nikon 40mm22? Similar, huh? Look at that guy. I can't move though. No, I'm stuck here. It's manual focus. I'm in prison hell. So I'm going about my life, and occasionally I would just see him in my area. He would be like driving by on my street, and he's like, hey man. I'm like, oh hey. Hey you. And it's just like, I don't think he lives in my area. Does he just drive by my house like all day long? I don't know. So just like, it was weird to see him sometimes, and then someone else is buying something off me. I'm selling a lens. I go downstairs, I meet him. We're talking, we're laughing. And then all of a sudden, he pulls out of my parking lot, the stalker guy. And he's like, hey man. I'm like, hey. And he hands me his card or something. And I was just like, why was he there in my parking lot? Like waiting for me? I don't know. Is he trying to time? Like all these thoughts are going through my mind. Like I vlog. I'm pretty predictable at times. It's like, okay, I'll go out at 11 or something. And it's like, is he waiting there? Okay, he's He left the house at 11 today. Yep, that's okay. That seems to be the time. And then he stayed there, and it was weird. It was weird to see him in his van in my parking lot, pulling out of my building. Just, hey, funny seeing you here. It's like, no, it's not funny anymore. I moved. You were about to click off my video, losing me ad revenue because I hadn't got to the part of the story where the stalker kills me. I took too long. I apologize for that. So, I keep seeing this guy. He keeps coming into my life. Actually, just a couple weeks ago, me and my friend went to that camera store to make the video. I'm comparing all the lenses, the Plana, the Fuji GFX. And then we get out of the store and he's there. And I'm just like, how? How are you here? Are you tracking me? Is there something in my phone? Did you shake my hand or something and then microchip me? He's more into camera gear than I am, so that could be a coincidence that he was there, but I don't know, man. He comes up, he shows up with these medium format cameras. He took a picture of me and my friend. I wouldn't mind seeing the picture. I'm afraid to ask. So, like, I've blocked him, and he said, like, oh, I sent it to you on the text. You got it, right? I'm like, no, that's not how it works. But he'll get the voice message through somehow. I blocked the number, and then I'll hear this message from him. I'm like, oh, it's him again. Oh, my God. And like I said, he's not a bad guy. I'm never talking to him. I'm just like, oh, shut up already. Like, he's into camera gear. He's a cool guy. One thing that does scare me about him, he's a locksmith. And so that's a bad combo, man, to have a stalker locksmith that could break into your house easily and change your locks. And I don't know. I doubt that's on his mind, but it could be. And this has happened to me before. In Thailand, y'all remember? Vegetable Police Network. And like, I'm always making videos near my house. Like, as soon as I leave the house, I start recording. And then someone found out where that was. And I'm like, oh, there. And so one day I go down to ride my bike, and there's a note in my helmet. And it says like, hey, big fan, Vegetable Police. If you're ever bored, let's go out for lunch or something. I'm like, why? Oh, God, it just felt creepy and invasive. But I was bored, and I called them, and we went out for lunch. She was cool. It was a woman. It was fine. So, like, we had a fun little talk. But the last straw with this guy, I just got a call 2 nights ago. It's the lobby saying, hi, I have a delivery for Casey. I'm like, okay, I'll buzz you up. I'm just so used to getting that. Like, could be FedEx, could be anyone. It's like, yep, buzz you up. And so I buzz him up, and then he calls back at the lobby. He's like, oh, I don't have your unit number. And I'm like, who is this? He's like, I have a special delivery for Casey. And I'm just like, who is this? And he's like, oh, it's me, the locksmith guy. I'm like, oh, God. That's where I think he crossed the line. Now you're trying to get my unit address. I think we got to end it here. He came with this lens. Nice guy. Thank you. But, like, stop imposing on my life, please. I get that I'm awesome. I'm a Z-list YouTuber. I've been in such infomercials as washing your donkey and the blanket thing that you put over your wife and then never touch her again. I brought those products to you, but we got to cross the line here. Just sideways crab walk out of my life, please. It's not that you're not a nice person. I just want to be alone. I'm not even mad at him. I would talk with him anytime. My friend, like, he was talking with us, and he's like, oh, yeah, that guy's cool. He's like, yeah, that's my stalker guy I was telling you about. He's like, oh, my God, that's him. Like, he's so nice. And my fiance came home, and he said, hey, you're famous too or something. Like, he was super nice. But she was like, how did he know me? I don't know. She's never been on this channel. I have no idea how he knows you. She was on my Vegetable Police channel a couple times, like 6 years ago. It's weird that he knows exactly who she is, but okay. Whatever. Nothing strange about that. So just setting some boundaries. I don't want to be receiving these calls all the time and keep running into him at the front door of my house. Like, oh, I just happened to be in the neighborhood waiting for you to get home. How come you're late? You usually get home at... So it's like, no more. But thank you for this lens. And we have it. Is it glorious? Is there pop? Are we swirly toned out in the corners? I don't know, Matt. But like, thank you. I appreciate him. And just no more. So the message is, don't be careful. It's funner to not be careful, and you might get a free lens out of it. Who cares? So what? Someone's waiting for you to get home. It's like a cat. They're like excited to see you. Come on, there's nothing. You're overblowing this. Come on. Stalkers are good. When has anything ever happened bad from a stalker? Never. I don't remember one time. There's no movies that could prove a stalker's danger. They're not dangerous. They're helpful. As we've seen, we have a new lens. Wait till I adapt this to the Canon C70. You even believe in that episode coming. Thank you to the stalker. Wow, he's gonna fix my locks. Guaranteed. I enjoy my Z-list celebrity status. Sometimes I'll leave the house and someone will recognize me. Hey, Vegetable Police or Camera Conspiracies. It's like, hey, look at me, I'm a celebrity. Do you want me to sign something? They're like, no. What do you mean? You're gonna ruin my shirt with your stupid signature? So it's like, it's fun, I enjoy it. And I'm not even mad at this guy, I don't know how to tell him this. The last time we were talking, I wanted to say something like, it's just because how you found me was invasive and that stuck in my mind, and now everything you do from that point on is like from a stalker's point of view in my mind. So it's my problem, not yours. It's fine. You can sleep on my couch. So I'll leave. Should I call the police or another competing locksmith to change his locks to his own van? Huh? That could help someone. After you donate Bitcoin, of course. Subscribe for more right now, Sander.